My name is Angela.
My name is Nicole.
And welcome to the Ominous Stitch podcast. Hello, Stitchers!
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Ominous Stitch podcast.
Whoop, 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 whoop. We are back again.
Yeah.
Guess who's back?
back again. Oh, man. Oh, how's everybody doing today? How's your week been?
February still.
It's February still for
But
like
it's
one more
going
week.
so fast, right?
I know. I can't believe we're already like almost done with 2 months of 2024.
I feel like I always say this. I feel like I'm on repeat, but like, where's the time going?
I know. It just goes faster the older you get.
I don't like it.
No,
sir.
I don't like it. You don't like it.
But that's okay. It's hopefully it'll warm up soon. You know what though? I always say that. No. I take it
Yeah,
back.
you don't want it to warm up.
No, I like it cold.
We like it
Stay cold.
because then I can be outside doing all my animal chores and be comfortable.
There you go. And it's green and it's pretty out.
And I'm not hot when I'm crocheting, watching my hat. When I'm crocheting and watching my son play baseball, it's not hot because like I put the blanket on me and I crochet. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm my kids have tennis in the evenings and it's so cold at night.
Yeah.
Like I have to bring blankets.
Yes, me too. I
Yeah.
was at baseball a couple weeks back and I was trying to text my husband things and my fingers
Did they
wouldn't
freeze?
work because it was too cold.
It's too
I'm like,
cold.
I need my hand warmers, but I already given them to my daughters. So I was
Aw.
like, I need my hand warmers. I need my gloves.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I had my warm jacket on that I wore while I was running and that
Yes.
jacket is awesome.
Best purchase.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
I can't believe I inspired that because
you did.
I know Nicole is usually like has always the perfect thing for whatever situation that you're in. She is ready. She is prepared. She has the perfect
You're
thing.
funny.
And I'm always
That's
like
what Girl Scouted
MacGyvering.
me.
I was a Girl Scout, but I never learned that skill.
You're MacGruber. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I am. I'm like always MacGyvering things. I'm like, this will work. This will be fine. Whatever, we'll be good. But this time I inspired her the purchase of the down jacket
For Disney. She was like, I'm going to get this. I was like, dude, good idea. Like it's lightweight because I don't have anything that packs
It's a
away.
lightweight down jacket.
Yeah.
And it really keeps you warm and they're small.
Brought mine today.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, but
because my house is normally cold, but I have the heater on today.
I noticed. I started dying.
I know, you're like, it's so hot. It's getting hot in here.
Yes, no. So it's cold and I like it. Let's not jinx it.
Yes.
I won't jinx it.
Okay.
Okay.
No jinx.
But you know what, though? I was dreaming of the beach. I was like, oh, I miss beach days because my family would go all the time in the summer because it's free. It's free. We're really close to it. I mean, it's like 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
It's if you want to do something and you don't want to spend money, it's
Yeah.
the perfect thing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You guys do the
oh.
beach very well. Your
Yes.
family does the beach very
Again, we
well.
pack really well. We've got it down to a science and we love it. And it's usually quiet, but I kind of miss those days. So, you know, I'll just take it as it is, California.
Yeah,
Give
take
it to
as
me.
it is. We're expecting rain again, you know that?
That's
so
right.
we'd rather not do the rain, but that's because we're spoiled California girls.
Yes. But it rained so bad that I saw so many houses leaking. And we had when the big storm came through, I forgot to mention this last week. There's mud in our neighborhood that just came sliding down. And so we saw our workers of the neighborhood, they had to make all these mounds of mud of dirt because it came down.
And I just want to do a quick shout out to our stitchers that checked in on us. You
That's
guys
right.
are so sweet.
You did that last time though.
I did do that. Oh, do it again.
Do
I'll
it again. Thank you, Stitchers.
Yeah, you guys are always so sweet when you check in on us. But yeah, so California is not built to because most
rain.
of it's desert, and so it washes away.
Yes.
Our grounds don't absorb the water.
Nope.
And so that's why, Californians can't drive in the rain because it rains so little that all of the oils from the cars
exactly
make the road slick. They don't get washed
slippery.
away. And
I'm in the valley. Where valley, the rain just sits.
The rain sits because you're in a valley, and so it has nowhere to drain.
Exactly.
And so it just like kind of piles up, and then it doesn't drain into the ground because the ground is all dust.
Yep.
And so it just makes the hillsides melt.
Mud.
You get mud everywhere. The hillsides slide.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not
Californi's not
designed
ready.
to
We can handle fires apparently.
We can handle fires. We got that down.
We got that down to a T. But yeah, rain's good for us. We just can't handle it. So anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's got you in stitches?
So, okay. I have to show you this, and I have to do a brag on my amazing older daughter. Okay, so she draws all the time. I've talked about that all the time. Yes. She draws.
She's an artist.
She's a very good artist. I think she wants to pursue it as a career.
She should do graphic design. Tell her to be an Imagineer.
Well, I know. This is what's going to make you so happy.
Okay.
So my husband has been following this trend on TikTok of these artists going to like thrift stores and buying landscapes.
Okay.
And so they'll go buy a landscape for a couple dollars.
Yeah. And then they change it.
And then they upcycle it, right? So
I've
they'll paint something like modern into it. And
I've seen people do it with like ghosts too.
Oh, really?
And like spooky scenes.
So So I mean, it's really funny. Like there's a guy that had like an Italian street scene, and then he painted like Archer into it, and it was really funny.
That's
like,
fun.
They do these little things that you don't expect, and it's awesome. It's fun.
Yeah.
So my husband commissioned my daughter to do it. So he literally found this painting of a landscape. It's a tree with like a little water going by on the side of the road.
Okay.
Literally found it on the side of a road.
What?
It's a yard sale, but they had it.
I thought it was
they had
alone.
it sitting.
No, it's a cursed painting. Don't you touch it.
It's a yard sale. They had it sitting on the side of the road, but they were like, just take it. And we're like, no, let's give you some money for it. So we got that. And then we got another piece of art that my oldest daughter was really excited to turn into something.
Okay.
And so when she eventually does that one, I'll share that one with you.
Sweet.
But this is her first piece that she did.
Okay.
I'm going to show it to you. This is hanging on the wall in my husband's office. So that's it. That's the tree. Aww. Now we're going to scroll in.
Yes, I kind of see something.
We're going to keep scrolling. You're going to love it. Aww. Tell me when you see it. What'd she paint?
Is it Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
Aww.
She painted Winnie the Pooh sleeping against the tree.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It looks
like it's
so
part of it.
Good. It does. It looks, her lighting, like the way she
perfect.
lit it and the way she painted it.
Oh,
my daughter is brilliant.
Aww.
Also, this tree had a lot of dips and divots in it. Like the whole painting had a lot of dips and divots in it, and she color matched it. Like there's one that you can see because a big chunk was taken out, and that's the only one that you can really tell that she repaired.
Yeah.
But like there's a repair in the tree that I can't even find anymore.
That's awesome.
Somewhere on here. And then there's also a repair over on this side that you can't even find anymore. I think it's like somewhere around here.
I love
you
that.
have to look super close.
Good job.
But she did so good color matching. And so now it has a little Winnie the Pooh.
So cute.
Hanging in my husband's office.
I love it.
Just a little something.
It's a little nod.
Yeah, it's a little nod.
But it's perfect because it's a good amount of subtle.
Yeah, isn't it great?
The right amount.
The right amount of subtle. Just a little hint of Winnie the Pooh. So
did she sign it?
No, she needed to. I know.
She needs
but
to.
That's her first piece.
How sweet.
And so for her commission, my husband got her a phone. So that was her commission. She has a phone.
I love that. Oh,
yeah.
Good
well,
job,
she's a
big
teenager
girl.
now. She needs a phone. So yeah,
yes,
it's good. But isn't that cool?
That is super
cool. I thought
cool.
you would love it because it's Winnie the Pooh, and
I
love
that.
Winnie so much.
That's adorable.
Yeah,
very cute. Good job.
She did such a good job. She's such a good little artist.
Yes. We might have to. I'll put that on social if you don't mind.
Yeah. I don't mind.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Good. Okay.
So Nicole, what's got you in stitches? Because this is awesome, and I've been waiting for it for like 2 years.
It's over 2 years.
You guys,
it's crazy. I'm gonna try to do a cool those things where you see a face and it grows like for people's portraits. I want to do this with my artwork of how I took a picture every month of this. So it's over 2 years. But I finally finished my husband's thing. I told you guys I was going to do it last week, and I totally didn't. I'm sorry. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. It's in here. Anyway, so what I did 2 years ago, and you did see this a little bit when I talked about cross stitch, a year and a half ago?
Yes. We saw it like partially done.
You saw it partially done. So I finished my cross stitch project for my husband.
Yay!
Holy crap.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, honey. So what I did was, like I mentioned a year and a half ago, I took a picture of his. He's a huge Funko fan, right? And
yes,
we
huge
have
Funko fan.
If you saw our house, you'd think we're crazy, but at least he has OCD. He makes them all nice. But we have like over 1,000 Funkos in our house. It's crazy.
Yes.
Funko Pops. So I took one of his pictures because his other thing he likes to do is photography, and he takes pictures of all his Funkos, and that's his reasoning and rationale behind everything. So I took that photo, I popped it into this cool website where you can create your cross stitch program or cross stitch whatever you want.
Yeah, that was cool. What was it called? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I will post somewhere. I totally forgot where.
Fiddle stitch, something like that.
That's where you did for
I did that one
Mosaic,
once.
I think.
Yeah,
but it's similar.
Okay,
it's very similar. But anyway, so I finally finished it, you guys. It took me over 2.5 years. It is a picture of alligator Loki.
I love alligator Loki.
Alligator Loki's the best.
When she started doing this,
you didn't know.
I hadn't watched the Loki stuff yet, so I hadn't. But since then, we have watched it, and alligator Loki has been our favorite.
Yes.
And I noticed one day you had it here, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like alligator," and you're like, "It is alligator Loki," and I was like,
the Funko version.
He's the best.
Yeah, color wise,
so
it's really cool, and it's where he usually goes to this park and he takes pictures on like mountainside. It's cool, you guys. I just can't believe I finally finished it. So there's my photo. I'll put it on social media. Like I said, I'm going to try to make a cool like reel out of the photos I've done over the whole 2.5 years or something crazy. I don't know if I'm going to cross stitch ever again. I
brought you over to the dark side.
You did.
It's all crochet
She started me on crochet. I mean, I've been a crocheter since I was in college, but she maybe kind of
you used
love it.
So, okay, when Nicole and I first started, when we both figured out that we crochet, because I started doing it during the pandemic. She's been doing it forever, but she only did one thing.
One thing.
She did a shell blanket.
Yes.
And that was what she did.
And I stuck to it.
Crochet.
I don't know how to do anything else, right? So I love cross stitching, but it takes forever, people. And I
don't have the patience.
Exactly.
You gave me one cross stitch thing.
And you haven't done it, have you?
No. I've used the floss for like other things.
Yeah, for crocheting.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. But I love cross stitching. It is really fun, but I feel like crocheting is quicker and it's therapeutic, and I can, make a lot of different things like amigurumi.
Yes, so, I introduced you to amigurumi, and I think that was what was the nail in the coffin for you.
Like, oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah. This is what I want to do.
Yes.
This is my life's work.
This is my favorite. So yeah, I'm going to post it, but cross stitchers, enjoy this. It's funny too. I was telling Angela, there's other stitches in cross stitching, just like in crochet. Never learned them. I was like, I'm going to stick to my X's.
Just the X's.
We just do X's. You know how to do X's. So anyway, take a look. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to, my husband's already got it, cause it was his birthday. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday.
And guys, I'm insanely impressed. So if you never cross stitch again, it's okay. This is well worth it, because
this is my
the
piece de
amount
resistance
of colors, like you guys.
Oh, dude.
She had, I don't even know, 30 pages.
Yes.
And over 1,000 colors that
Almost.
She's sitting here working with.
There's like boxes. I had to organize them because I'm like, if I don't, I won't know what I'm doing. I have boxes of just my little, what is it? Floss.
Yeah. I'm so impressed. And it's insane. It's gorgeous. That is a piece of art.
If I had to sell this, I think I told you this, like if you had to match money, right?
How would you have to sell that for? Like
a lot.
A couple $1,000s at least.
At least.
More. Probably like, I would say maybe tens of thousands of dollars.
Because it's been over 2.5 years. I mean, it's not like I've been doing it every hour for 2.5 years, right? But it's just taken me that long.
Yeah. It's an insane amount of effort. You are
I'm
incredible.
Like tired from it.
I know you are. It is finished.
It is finished. No more. It's plaguing me. No more. But it's funny. You know what's still plaguing me is my blanket that I still have to make that you showed me how to do.
The Mosaic Crochet
the one
blanket.
That's next to you. Yes.
The one that my dog is laying on right now.
Yes. And the one that we're going to talk about a little bit today.
We're going to talk about. She brought me a new Mosaic Crochet, so that's going to be our stitch time.
I'm so excited.
She
was
so excited.
Teaching me, and I'm like, this is the coolest.
You're like, I don't remember.
And I'm like,
calm down. You're getting ahead of yourself. It's okay. Well, we'll talk about that at stitch time.
Okay.
Or is it stitch time?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's get stitching. Okay, Stitchers. So as I just mentioned a few seconds ago before you heard that wonderful little musical montage, Nicole brought me another Mosaic Crochet. And from the time that we did the Mosaic Crochet blanket, the last time, the Fox Mosaic Crochet blanket, and the one that my dog is laying on, and the one that she hasn't finished, but it was the very first crochet project that we ever started working on together.
Seriously.
Back in 2001.
Whoop, whoop.
Right?
Holy, no, wait.
2000?
What?
It was right before we started this
Not
podcast.
2001.
2021.
You scared me. I was like, I was in college at that point. Holy cow, because math,
Oh my gosh, my math. Okay, 2021, y'all.
That
okay.
was funny.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to leave that in now because
you have to.
Yeah, I have to. Oh man. Okay. We'll leave in my math. Well, you guys know. Because math, I can't do it. Okay. So in 2021,
there you go,
y'all, is when we started that Mosaic Crochet blanket.
That's right.
Since then, she has forgotten how to do Mosaic Crochet. Because we've done a lot of other things.
Well, but this mosaic one that you were teaching me with this specific one, it was crazy because we had to count 11s and we were like...
Yeah, you were counting in 11s.
Yes. And I thought that's what it was only for that specific... I didn't know, again, I'm not connecting dots with mosaic.
Connect the dots, la, 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 la.
But now I do. Now I get it.
So she brought me this new thing. She's like, teach me how to do this week. So she sent this to me, you guys, just so you know. She sent this to me like 2 days ago. And she's like... Or maybe yesterday. She said, it was yesterday. She sent it to me yesterday and she's like, can we do this when we record tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, we got it. And you're like, really?
Teach me.
And I'm like, yeah.
And then what? An hour or two later, she sends me a photo of it like half done. I'm like, holy crap.
You're like, how do you do it? I'm like, it's easy. There are simple rules that you have to remember when you're doing Mosaic Crochet.
Yes.
So when you are looking at the chart can be very overwhelming because you will see the pattern on the chart and the colors on the chart.
It is super overwhelming.
And when you're crocheting it, you're like, I don't understand how those colors are going to happen because you are constantly changing color every single row. You're like, how does that work? And it works because you are either putting the color to the back or you're bringing the color to the front.
Which, duh.
That's how it works. Even though you're changing every other row, you're bringing the color to the front or to the back.
Right.
Okay. So when you're looking at the chart, you will see blank spaces and you will see X's.
And BS. Not for bullshit.
BS. Beginning stitch. That's what a BS is.
I like my version.
I know. I do too. When you start each row, you are starting with a new color. So you have to attach the yarn at the beginning of each row. So you start with your slip knot and you slip stitch into that first single crochet, chain one, single crochet into that first single crochet.
That same one.
That same stitch.
Got it.
That is your BS, beginning stitch.
The hardest one. BS.
They always start with a single crochet, always. Yep. Okay. Now, when the pattern starts, it either is going to have an X or it's going to be blank.
Right.
If it's blank, it means what?
A single crochet in the back row only.
Back loops only.
Back loops.
Single crochet.
Not back
No, no X. It's a single crochet. That is always in the back loop.
Always.
Single crochets are always in the back loop.
Yes.
If it has an X, what does that mean you're doing?
It is a double crochet into the row below, 2 rows below.
2 rows below. A double crochet is always in the front loop.
2 rows below. 2 rows below.
Okay.
And you can see it.
You can see it. So when you're doing the double crochet, it's putting that single crochet color to the back.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's why the colors pop when they pop.
See?
And they hide when they hide.
So cool.
Okay. So when you have an X, it's a double crochet 2 rows below in the front loop only, because that's the only loop option you have.
Right. That's the only ones you see.
The only ones you see. If it is a blank space, it's a single crochet
back loop only.
In the back loop only.
Yes.
Okay.
I got it.
On the charts, you will see that they change the color so you know which color you're working with.
Right.
Either the background color, which the chart that we're working off of is just white. They left it white, but it can be whatever your background color is. And then you're alternating with whatever the other color is of the Mosaic Crochet that you're working on for that row.
So this one example has a brown background. And it's cool.
So it's brown, or we're doing a leafy green because we're doing the green, or the flower color, which is gold here. Okay.
Yes.
So the chart will tell you which color you're starting with. And then it will either have a blank space, which means it's a single crochet for this many stitches, or it will have an X, which means it's a double crochet. Single crochets are always the row below and they're in the back loops. Double crochets are always 2 rows below in the front loop.
And Angela was like, just know it's not going to build it up high.
Yeah, you're only building it a single crochet at a time. That's the height that you're working.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So for this, what I want to do is I think I want to make a cool blanket, and it's going to take me a lot, right?
It will take you, it'll take you a while. So the pattern that she picked, it's this really cool, it's called 70s Retro Flower. So we have another 70s thing. It's by the Dutch Hooker. The Dutch Hooker Crochet. And was this a free pattern that you sent to me?
It is. Isn't that cool?
It's a free pattern, 70s Retro Flower by the Dutch Hooker
And I can't
Crochet.
remember
And
if
it's a beautiful
I got it
pattern.
on Ravelry, maybe.
Ravelry. It looks like a Ravelry.
It.
It looks like a Ravelry pattern.
I downloaded the PDF. I've had it forever. And I was like, dude, I need to do this one.
And she has a bunch of YouTube links that you can click on this. So if you're new to Mosaic Crochet, she's going to show you how to do it, how to read the charts, how to do the basic Mosaic Crochet, and how to do borders, because you are going to have fringe on the sides because you're changing colors every single time. You're tying off and cutting off every single time. Which still looks
kind of cool.
It's cool. It looks like a fringe. I left fringe on mine because I'm lazy and I don't want to do the border. But then also I just think it looks cool.
I think for this pattern specifically too, it's 70s, so it kind of like works.
Yeah, it looks. I like that. I love the fringe on it.
Yeah.
I think they're really cool. So I recommend leaving the fringe, but you can do whatever you want. So this pattern does give you 2 charts, and if you do the 2 charts, it allows you to offset the flowers. So you're going to do an entire chart 1, and then before you repeat chart 1, you drop down to chart 2,
which we didn't get to.
We didn't get to chart 2. We only did chart 1, but chart 2 will offset the flower. Do you see how that it offsets the flower? When chart 1, the flower's in the middle. So on chart 2, the flowers are on. Yes.
Which Angela did. Then I have to go up and then start chart 2.
You start chart 2. Yeah, you start chart 2. And then when you finish chart 2, then you go back to chart 1. And you alternate between the 2.
Dang it. So let's, again, I should have asked you this before then. So if I make, let's say, like I want to make this a blanket.
Yes.
So I would want to multiply this by, let's say, like 10.
Okay. Yeah. So 180.
The chart 2 will be good to do that because it's going to connect up that top, right? Because it looks offset. That's why.
Yeah. It's offset on purpose.
Right.
So that the flower will go, like she has it on the example here. So see how these flowers are offset?
Oh, duh. Because it lines up nicely.
Right. So this is row 1. This is row 2. This is row 1.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's so pretty. I'm so excited.
It's so pretty.
How long? Okay, I know you've done 2 mosaic crochet blankets, right?
Just the one.
No, you did the kitty cat.
Oh, that's not mosaic. That's a graphigan.
See, that's where I got confused.
Yeah, so graphigan.
I thought those were the same.
Graphigan is just changing colors, and it's like a double crochet or a single crochet. You decide whatever stitch you're going to use, and then that's when you follow the color on the chart.
Ooh.
So that's what's different. The graphigan, you follow the color on the chart, and it doesn't matter if you want to do a single crochet, a double crochet, half double, whatever kind of stitch you want to do. The stitch stays consistent, but you're following the chart to know when you change colors.
See, that's why I was confused. I thought they were both the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And then you can also use a chart for filet crochet, and that's a whole different thing because a square on filet crochet is a double crochet chain 2.
That's right.
Right? Double crochet chain 2.
My mind is blown.
Or if the color is filled in, then it's 3 double crochets.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I want to make this as a mosaic, but let's say I want to, because I was telling you, remember, I want to make a pillowcase for my work pillow. That's like my college, like their logo. That would be a graphic.
That would be a graphic. So you just change colors when the box tells you to change colors.
That's it.
Yeah.
But with changing colors for me, I always thought that you pull up your loop and and then you pull the other color. Is that right? When you're changing colors for that one too? Okay.
Yes. You bring in the other color.
And that one's
easier. And then
easier,
you just have to sew the ends in.
Well,
they're both easy. I mean, it's got its challenges because you have to know when to you have to keep, if you're keeping the colors going, you're dealing with a lot of balls of yarn and the yarn gets tangled.
Well, if I'm doing like 3 colors, that'd be easier, right?
My cat blanket, I had 14 colors going at the same time.
That's insane. I know. We talked about that. That was hilarious. It's like how you did that. But if it's like 3 colors, it's going to be super easier.
It'll be easier. You're still going to have to
move the colors around
so they don't get tangled.
Right.
Or you deal with a tangled mess and you just keep trying to pull the yarn each time.
I did that.
That's
the other
not
week.
you.
No, I hate that. That just drives me insane. So with so Mosaic, you've got a specific single, back loop, front loop, double.
Yes.
You make these cool, and it makes it a cool pattern. But then
you're going to have X's and blanks
right.
on the chart to let you know when you're doing a double, when you're doing a single.
But graph again is you just choose your own and you can do it from whatever pattern you want.
Yeah. You follow the colors on the chart in a graph again. You do not follow the colors on the chart necessarily on a Mosaic crochet, except for you follow which color you're using on the side there.
Right.
And you're alternating colors each time, but you aren't changing color necessarily when you're looking on the chart.
Right.
But
see, making this kind of a chart must be much harder than a graphic chart, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, if you're used to it, but there's definitely more thought into it.
Because
you have to think about when you're doing a single crochet and when you're doing a double. Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's so cool to me. Oh, my mind's blown. I love crocheting so much. I love it.
And this pattern does come with written instructions, so if you follow that better,
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. So if you follow that, then
BS.
Beginning stitch.
SC always. Oh wait, BSDC. Why does it go
double
back and
crochet?
Forth? Right. Oh.
Beginning stitch, and then you do a double crochet, or you do single crochet,
goes.
double crochet, single crochet. I
keep forgetting BS is not
beginning
bullshit.
stitch.
This is cool too. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. My mind's blown.
Yay!
It's also confused, but that's good. I mean, not confused.
Didn't
I just
blow your mind this time, didn't I?
Woo!
Little new kids for you guys.
I love that.
All right. So, any other questions on Mosaic crochet?
No, I just need to do it.
Okay. All right. I'm sure more questions will pop up as we go along.
So how long did it take you to finish your Mosaic?
My little swatch that I did, or the full blanket?
Full blanket.
Oh, the full blanket took a long time.
Yeah,
and I think at one point I was like, I don't want to do another round. This is big enough for a lap.
That's going to be me.
Good. Yeah. So I just kind of I'm done. And then I left the fringe because again, I was lazy and I'm like, I don't want to.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to work. I just want to bang. No, I like the fringe. So I just, cut it. Also, it was all about the same length for the fringe.
That's what I'm going to probably do.
It looks great.
So my only problem with this is I want to do this so bad.
Yes.
But because Angela and I are trying to get our Etsy shop off and running.
Yes.
I'm trying to create patterns. So that I'm torn between like doing our patterns and crocheting for fun. It's hard. I want to do all of it.
Nothing's fun. I'm torn.
That's how I feel.
Right? Yes. That's valid. I get it. I feel your struggle.
We need to win the lottery.
Okay.
And then I will quit my job, which I still love my job, but I will dedicate my time to crocheting.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah. Go ahead. Win the lottery.
Farm.
Go for it. And the Frenchie farm.
Yeah. And panda holder.
Oh, panda holder. I think you're the wrong ethnicity for that.
No.
I think you have to be a Chinese citizen.
Really?
Yeah. You have to be a Chinese citizen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, panda farm. Just kidding. I'm not going to bring pandas over here. Frenchie farms will do.
Yeah, Frenchie farm.
Yeah.
And then you'll have them yodeling all day long. Wah!
Did I send you? I didn't.
I send you so many Frenchie reels. That's kind of like, I go on a tear and I just.
Because she knows I love
anytime I'm on Instagram, and my Instagram has figured this out.
All
my reels. Yeah. All my reels are like Frenchies. And so I bombard Nicole with 1,000 reels of Frenchies.
And I love it. I want all the Frenchies.
And I can just hear you laughing in my head.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if I had just a household like full of Frenchies and how chaotic it would be? It would be so chaotic. Yes, you would love it and it would make 1,000,000% sense to you. All
but
day
you'd
long.
have so many dogs that are just like, ah! and they just yell and they yodel and they'd be all over the place.
Snore and grunt and drool. Oh, I love it.
It would be chaos and you would love it, but I think your family would move out.
Oh, I think my husband would leave me.
Like, it's me or the dogs, Nicole. And you're like, don't make me choose.
Oh man. Oh, we can dream. Maybe I'll just have a separate house if we win the lottery. There you go.
There you go. Separate house for your Frenchies.
Just for the Frenchies.
Yeah. And if nobody can find you, you're in your happy place. And you're hanging out with the Frenchies.
Nicole?
And all the yarn. And they'll chase all the yarn all around the house. And your yarn will just be strings everywhere. For somebody who loves order, I don't understand your obsession with the chaos part of it too.
It just makes me laugh. I don't know why. It just makes me smile to think about all the crazy little Frenchies I got in my head. I don't know. It's a weird, wild dream. Everybody has one. What's your wild dream?
Oh, I love it. I'm living it, baby. I'm living it.
She's able to make her dreams come true.
Oh, that's my husband. He makes my dreams. I mention one tiny little thing and he runs wild with it. And it's fun. And yeah, so that's why I have, 11 alpaca and one pregnant one and a farm and chickens. Oh,
I love it.
Oh man.
I love it.
I love it too.
All
okay.
Right. Anyway, I have the coolest story time today.
I am so scared, but also ready for this.
It's going to be so cool.
Okay.
You're going to love it.
I am?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. It's
okay.
story time. Could fall into the sky.
I just learned real quick.
Yeah.
That song Vanessa Carlton wrote was about a crush she had on Juilliard, not someone she dated, but a crush she had on somebody. And so people were trying to figure out, and they deduced that it most likely was, I forgot his name, but was about the actor from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the brother.
Dennis? The guy who plays Dennis?
Yes.
Glenn Howerton?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
She went to Juilliard with Glenn Howerton?
He was, because they deduced it was about an older guy.
Okay.
So he's 3 years older than her.
Okay.
And she said it was somebody, a crush she had when she was at school, and that was at Juilliard. And he went to Juilliard at that time too.
And so it naturally had to be him?
They said two other people, I forgot who they were, but they really think it was him.
Oh, how funny.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. He used the Dennis method on her.
Gross. Okay. Alrighty. This is so fun. I love this. You're going to love this. Okay,
here we go.
So Angela knows I love my themes.
Yes, you do.
I do. And so, this week I was trying to create an episode around the movie that we watched, because I made her watch this movie that I was like, this is one of my favorite movies.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
That, okay. Well, we'll get there when we get to movie soon. Time, but dude.
But I didn't want to go into cults. Like, cults are trippy, and there's so many documentaries out there right now about all the different cults there are, I don't know if you've seen any. I didn't want to get into that. So today, I'm going to talk about ghosts and cryptids of Sweden. But I was like, cool, I found this cool haunted place. There's so much about it. Like so much. So today I'm just going over one haunted place and two cryptids.
Okay.
And then we may go over another episode of Haunted Sweden sometime, because there's so much, guys. It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
So the first, we're going to start with a cryptid. Okay.
I love a cryptid.
Please bear with me, because dude, Swedish
words. I gotcha. That's my Swedish chef, by the way.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
The Swedish meatballs.
Swedish meatball. That's what I got out of that.
Yep, that's what I said.
Good. Okay, so the first cryptid. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Storjuret.
Nice.
Okay.
That sounded Swedish to me. Oh, what is that? It looks like, okay, let me tell you what I think it looks like.
Okay.
It looks like a cross between an otter.
Okay.
And like a killer whale.
Okay.
Shark. Killer whale shark thing, but with crocodile and
That's a good crossbreeds of all that. Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's got flippers though, like a snapping turtle.
Yeah.
And then they have a man for size comparison.
Yeah.
Like,
hi. He's big. This
Yes.
thing's big. Okay. So Sweden has its very own lake monster. Okay. Now,
Woo!
don't forget monster in the kindest way. Because
Yes.
it's not going to eat you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sweet lake monster.
Yes. So again, Storjuret, which is the lake Storjo monster, or Storjuret. It's the same thing, but there's no two O's in this one. But this one's called the Great Lake Animal. Okay. An ancient creature that has over 500 eyewitnesses.
Whoa.
500
Nice.
and 200 have been documented and are being kept in the county museum Jamtli. The others are oral tales that have not come forward in written testimony. They're like, no, I don't want to tell everybody. Like, I don't want to write this down.
Like,
Anyway.
it's too crazy for me.
Too crazy. So the first ever written tale of this creature goes back to 1635. Okay. Church minister Mogens Peterson from Hermdale, or Hermdale. Hermdale? Sure. Wrote a story about how it came into existence. He writes about, there's two ways to go about this case. So the first tale, two trolls, okay? Yata and Kata.
Yata and Kata.
Yes. They concocted a witch's brew on the shore of Lake Stjorsund. And after years and years of boiling the brew, something started to move and quiver in the cauldron, which emitted a huge bang.
Ooh.
Then from the story itself, which came from adventuresweden.com and Wikipedia. Okay. A strange animal with a black worm-like body and cat-like head jumped out of the cauldron and disappeared into the depths of Lake Storjon. The trolls in the cauldrons vanished in a wisp of white smoke, leaving a gaping abyss. The animal enjoyed the lake, grew immensely, and caused horror among the people living around the shores. Horror. Finally, it had gotten to the point where it was long enough to reach around the island Frozon and could bite itself in the tail.
Oh, what?
Yeah, but then but then Ketil Hyamte came along and bound the beast by carving spells into a stone that erected on the east shore of Frozon. Parts of the beast were visible above the waterline, but it's warned the creature would be liberated someday if someone deciphers the rune stone. And dude, look.
Ooh, that's pretty.
That's the rune
so
stone.
Cool.
You see it though?
Yeah. Yeah. It like goes all the way around the rune.
Yeah. The other version is that a lake serpent was bound up magically in the lake's depths by Ketil Runsky, the man who brought runes to humankind. So FYI, he stole 3 rune staffs from Odin, and that's how he came up with the runes.
Ooh.
Yeah. But Runskis carved his spell into the Frozo runestone. This runestone dates back to the mid-11th century, the one I showed Angela.
Yeah.
And clearly depicts a large serpent, and it is located on the island of Frozo.
Okay, so it's a cryptid lake monster.
Yes.
Very similar looking to other cryptid lake monsters that we have seen in the past. So it's a plesiosaur.
Yes. I think so.
I think so.
Right? Now, as for other written recorded sightings, these dates, oh, by the way, it is kind of, but I think it's not. I think it's a different version.
A different kind of
Because you'll
it?
hear about this. Yeah.
Okay.
So these date back as early as the 19th century, other recorded sightings. On July 1857, workers at the iron mill on the lake noticed a creature very far away with a head black and gleaming, about the size of a large cat's head, with the water movement that suggested to them it was very sea serpent-like. To me, that sounds like an otter, but you know. Then in 1899, Peter Olsen published a booklet that documented 22 eyewitness testimonies. Olsen was a naturalist and concluded most likely the accounts were witnessing an aquatic mammal yet to be identified, which could be. Olsen's account ranged the creature to be from 3.5 to 14 meters. Other testimonies reported it to be around 10 meters in length, so that's about 33 feet.
Okay.
It has been described as having a snake-like body, long neck, a dog-like head, and some claim cat. That's where it changes a little bit.
Dog
to
cat.
Me. Yeah. And
I said otter.
Yeah, which would give it ears, unlike most serpents. Some accounts will describe it to have fins rather than ears. Some claim to see several humps on its back, but Olson lumped these cases together with vertical curvings or undulations.
Okay.
Others describe the creature to have a long, pointed tail. Some believe it possesses the ability to, quote unquote, swim on land, which I guess means to be on land, just like Nessie.
Yeah.
Right?
Nessie.
Everyone concurs, though, that the creature in Lake Storjol is harmless and nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
In the 1890s, after several sightings, an enterprise of locals came together to catch the monster in 1894.
No.
Yeah, which King Oscar II caught wind and sponsored the group.
Ah,
Alas,
no.
nothing ever came to light.
Good.
Yes. In August of 2008, a film crew claimed to have captured the creature on film, which with reports that infrared cameras caught an endothermic mass in the lake. Yes. A member of the crew told Sveriges Television that it clearly shows that it's warm and is made up of cells. Otherwise, our cameras wouldn't indicate red. So it can be a sea snake or some other kind of sea animal.
Cool.
Right?
Interesting.
So with this information, I present to you some personal stories gathered by Storjulet, right? .nu. So it's all about him.
Yes.
Or it. The observation was presented as an eyewitness testimony and made public by farmer Anders Aronson in Salem. Salom? S-A-L-O-M.
Yes.
Who wrote, "My father, Aaron Anderson in Salome, who is now dead, told me several times that in his youth between 60 and 70 years ago, and together with other people, one fine day he was working with the hay on the estates facing Storjon when he saw an animal that was lying by the shore and moving in the water. Neighbor Martin Person had a red-gray horse with a white mane. And at first my father and the others who saw the animal thought it was this horse that somehow got into the water in a strange way. The color of the animal matched the head of the horse, and the animal, lo, a white man, and floated on the water." By the way, this is all translated from Swedish. So
yeah, the
lost in
translations are always
translation.
fun. Yes.
After coming to this conclusion, it was decided to go down to the beach and try to save the horse. But coming down the hill, which plunges towards the lake, the animal went with great speed beyond until it suddenly disappeared into the depths. Only then did they understand that they had seen the mysterious animal, which the legends even at that time knew would be in Storjon.
Oh, so they were going to try to help the horse that they thought was in distress.
Yes.
And then it was
wasn't
like
the horse.
It was like, oh, people are coming at me. I better go dive in the water. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. You're not the horse.
Not the horse.
Ah,
You're the creature.
very cool.
Here's an observation by Irene Magnuson. "It's been a long time, but I remember every second of seeing the big sea monster. Mid-July 76. Me and my then boyfriend Rolf had laid nets, just 2, because it was so warm and quiet. After we laid the nets, we took an extra turn in the small Eken boat towards, oh my gosh, Karingviken Sandsundbron." Okay, sure.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
What we saw happened between those places. We went straight out from the beach about 200 meters. There was a buoy there. Strange, we thought. It's so deep there. On the way there, a big trout jumps as if it has been frightened. When we arrived at the buoy, Rolf, as the party was called, turned off the engine of the rowing boat and we glided towards the buoy. It was totally mirror-like and hot, nauseating, and I felt a strong sense of discomfort. I leaned forward in the bow to see what the buoy was attached to. I saw nothing but my reflection in the water. I told Rolf, but got no answer. I was just about to repeat, but then I hear Rolf, "But what the hell?" Then he stands pitch white and stares. Then my whole self froze. The heat disappeared, it felt like. About 25 to 30 meters away from us, a gigantic animal arches up. There is no doubt that it was a living being.
Yay.
Yeah. First, a large wave about 2 meters rolled up. After that, a glossy gray-black back about 2 meters. And after that, a large, soft wave. We didn't see a face because it was underwater. But there is no doubt that the animal was much larger than our rowing boat. The big waves and the long back showed it clearly. I shouted to Rolf, "Start the engine!" as the animal swam towards us in a small circle. The engine didn't start until the fourth pole. By then, it had swam so close that we could feel the waves. Then it was 15 to 20 meters from us. I was terrified, and it got worse when I see the animal follows us all the way to land. "Drive onto land," I shouted, but when it became too shallow for the animal, it turned. We were then on Funa's side, but we saw the animal all the way across the lake to Haka's side. That's how big it was. I don't know how that big is, but I'm sure it's big.
Sounds big.
Yes. Yes. There were two pale people who drove very close to the shore to Funas Viken, where our starting point was. Shocked and pale, we came home to my parents. Rolf Larsen has only giggled about the story before, but now he too is totally convinced. The animal must be 6 to 7 meters long, at least.
Yeah. Wow.
Cool, right?
That is awesome. That's awesome.
So there's something there, right?
Yes.
It's gotta be. Personal story in July 2006 told to Ulla Askersson, County Museum, Ostersund. Sorry. A man and his ex-partner were out on Storjon, trolling behind Hoverberget in a 5-meter long new boat. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Yeah, these are hard. It was very calm. At a distance of 20 meters, they suddenly saw something like a spine sticking out of the water. It saw a hump, and in front of it was a long log-like spine. The color was brown-black, and the surface was smooth and hard. The creature moved up and down. Twice it appeared to the left of the boat. The man in the boat saw it at close range. The boat rocked a lot. He estimated the length at 20 meters. The creature moved from the Hoverberg side to the Haka side and was visible all the way. Huge swells formed after it.
That's so cool. All of these sightings are the same. It's like the same animal.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I think this keeps going. Sorry if I stop. So
no worries.
I couldn't tell if this was a new story. I'll keep going with this one. So J.H. Almgren and two of his brothers were at the beginning of the 20th century out to light between Vatviken and Hoverbergsudden when they caught sight of an object the size of a rowing boat and dark brown in color, which slowly and noiselessly passed by in the direction of Hamaruden. The animal or phenomenon was no further from their boat than it was clearly visible in the light of the candle fire. They especially noticed its brown color, which is why their first thought was that it was a rowing boat with people in it who were out to spy on them. That is why all three direct their special attention to the phenomenon. But when no human could be discovered and no oars could be seen or heard, but the object passed by them completely noiselessly and disappeared into the darkness, they began to look at each other with questioning looks. After a hasty discussion, everyone agreed to go home immediately as fast as they could. They kept the incident a secret for a long time, but they themselves believed that it was the Storjol beast they had seen.
Cool. That's
Right?
funny. It's like, let's get out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're going to go. That is the Storjuret.
Storjuret. It's cool. I love that they have a Nessie there. I love that there's Nessies
Nessie,
everywhere, man. It's always my favorite when you get a cryptid story all around the world and it's a very similar creature. And yes, there can be differences because it's culture and also it's also just geographical. You know, the animals are going to change a little bit geographically, but
from country to country.
Yeah, but it's the same cryptid.
Same cryptid.
They have
with all these sightings, like
yes,
that are huge. Like
I
it's
love
huge.
it. I love it.
It's so cool.
That's what I love Nessies.
Yes,
I'm calling them Nessies. They're not all I mean, they're all
similar,
plesiosaurs, but yeah. Aw, yay.
Okay, that's the first cryptid. We're going to the ghost side of Sweden, and I'm taking you to Borgvatnet Vicarage. Here's a photo. It's very ominous.
That is a very ominous photo.
Right?
I'm like, it looks like a nice house, but that photo, man.
No. Angela, this
not a
place
nice house. Not a
is
nice house.
super, super haunted.
Oh,
I'm telling you, this
okay.
is crazy. All right.
Okay.
So the small town of Borgvatnet, Sweden has only 50 residents, a church, and a vicarage. It's a tiny, tiny town.
Tiny town. And the vicarage is where the priests live.
Correct. Or they come and visit. Yes. Yeah. Supposedly, it has the highest number of ghosts per capita in the country. What?
I would not want to be like sent there to be the minister.
Vicar? Nope, yeah. I'm good. So this shout out goes to the Little House of Horrors. You know that website.
Yay, love them.
Because this is a lot of info from them. But so the most haunted location in the town is the Borgvatnet Vicarage, built in 1876. The first ghost stories that exist were circulated in 1927 when Vicar Niels Hedlund discussed an unexplained event written in a letter. He stated that his parents lived in the house prior, but his mother, Marta, passed away from childbirth in the home in 1907. Per, husband and father to Niels, was devastated and thought to cope he would bury Marta in the backyard. Like, keep her close. Why? Mm-hmm. Locals found out only a couple days later of what Per did, and they demanded he bury Marta in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Per did agree to do this, but apparently the next day the entire Hedlund family disappeared and they had taken Marta's body with them.
Oh,
so they're
he can't
let her go.
Oh.
Yeah. Niels decided to come back and live in the vicarage once his father passed away. One day, he hung his laundry on the drying rack in the garden. When he looked up later at the laundry, he would swear he witnessed his laundry being pulled from the drying rack. There was no wind, and he could tell that the laundry was obviously being pulled and not flying or floating in the wind. Hedlund moved out soon after, but then in 1930, Vicar Rudolf Tangden moved in. He didn't see anything strange happen with his laundry, but he did see a lady dressed in gray in his home.
Oh, okay. So the laundry thing, I'm thinking it could have been like a stray cat or something, because cats pull on laundry. I've seen it happen. My cat pulls on my tablecloth all the time. And you're just like, tablecloth is moving. They're just pulling on it.
Yeah. Could have been anything.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
But a lady in gray in your house is a whole other ball of wax.
Different experience. So he recalled that the lady was walking slowly towards him through the big hall, but then turned last minute into the expedition room. You're going to hear that a lot.
Expedition room.
Which is the office where the vicars used to work.
Okay.
Tangden had so many questions, like, how did she get into his home?
Yeah.
But as soon as he got to
question.
As soon as he got to the expedition room, there was nobody in there, as if she completely vanished. This is the expedition room, by the way.
Okay. So it's just like a nice little room.
Yeah.
Just okay.
So we move forward 6 years when Otto Lindgren and his wife move into the vicarage in 1936. They never witnessed the gray lady, but they experienced phantom footsteps.
Oh.
These footsteps would walk through the house. Then they would also hear the doors opening and closing as if someone was naturally moving through the home. But when they wanted to welcome their visitor, they couldn't find anybody in the house. Then, once when Mrs. Lindgren was alone in the house, she swore she could hear music behind the closed door to the kitchen. When she opened the door, the music abruptly stopped. But this happened again later when Otto came home. They both heard the music this time, and they opened the door to the music completely stopping.
Was it a marching band?
Right? That's what I was going to say too. Hey-o. Nah, Sweden. I don't think it was a marching band.
Yeah, no.
Okay, then in 1941, Inga Floden, the diocese secretary, was staying at the Borgvatnet Vicarage when she was visiting on a business trip. While sleeping in the guest room, she was startled awake at 3 a.m. This is going to be awesome.
Oh, 3 a.m.
Believing that someone was watching her.
Oh, no.
When she started to feel that maybe it was just a dream, she scanned her room and saw 3 ladies watching her from the couch opposite of her bed.
No. I got chills. I don't like it. Don't watch me when I'm sleeping.
3 ladies.
Creepy.
She quickly turned the light on, and no, they didn't vanish.
Oh, what?
They were still there, but now she could see right through them.
Okay, I would rather it be ladies than gentlemen.
True.
Or men of any kind watching me sleep. But dude, she could see through them, they didn't disappear when she turned the lights on.
No.
So they were still.
So what would you do in this situation, Angela?
I'd yell and say, "Get out of here!" And
You'd freak out.
I would freak out. Yeah. Was she calm?
Inga just kind of stared at them. So she could see one lady was dressed in black, one was in a purple dress, and the third lady wearing gray. The one thing in common amongst the three ladies was that they all looked forlorn. Two of them had their hands in the lap, while the third was knitting.
Yeah. She's my kind of people.
Doing something with her hands, right?
I'm like literally working on Tunisian crochet here while she's doing that.
We're all going to crochet when we die here.
Yep.
Okay. Inga mentions that she thinks she dozed off again. Like, how did she stay calm?
She's like, I'm just going to go back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. And the next day, she didn't really say anything about them, but later she admitted she wasn't really scared, just surprised. What the heck, dude?
Oh, she has got nerves of steel,
Seriously, she's like cool with it. Like,
yeah,
hey,
I would have
just
yelled.
don't wake me up.
I would have yelled. I would have been like, get out of here.
Right? Okay, then 1945, Vicar Eric Lindgren moved in, and apparently spooky things happened right from the get-go. That first night he slept in the home, he could hear scraping noises above his head as if heavy furniture were being dragged from one side to another.
I don't like that one.
No, he was very surprised at this because the furniture hadn't arrived at the vicarage yet.
Oh, so there was nothing in there, and
Nothing
things are
in
just
there.
scraping around.
Exactly.
Ooh, no.
Nope. Not sure if he investigated that night or later, but he noticed that all the rooms on the first floor were completely empty. He then decided it would be a good idea to start journaling all the weird things that happened in the vicarage.
Yeah.
At one point, he brought in a rocking chair.
Don't bring rocking chairs in, people. Don't, because they're going to rock on their own.
You know what's going to happen.
They're just going to rock on their own.
Well, this is creepy. One night, he sat in the rocking chair and started reading a book when out of nowhere, he was pushed so violently from the chair that he fell to the ground. He tried to sit down again, but he described the feeling as if being blocked from the chair, and he fell again.
What?
The rocking chair then began moving on its own.
Oh, yeah, because like whatever the gray lady was like, oh, this is my chair now.
I'm going to knit in this chair.
Get out of my chair. This is my chair.
Yeah, Eric then and there decided to never sit in the rocking chair again.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
nope.
It's not his anymore.
Nope.
He keeps getting pushed out.
It's not his.
Be like, fine.
I don't want to sit there, I guess. The vicarage became world renowned when Lindgren began discussing his paranormal events to fellow vicars, and a journalist's ears perked up. He asked Lindgren for an interview, and he agreed. December 4th, 1947, the newspaper Österlunds Posten published Eric's interview, where it also discussed Lindgren hearing phantom footsteps, candles being blown out constantly, and sometimes being bumped by an unseen person. He also mentioned the footsteps he could hear from the wooden bridge outside coming towards the house, but no one would ever be outside. Then he claimed that he never felt comfortable in the expedition room because he felt someone was always looking over his shoulder or even sitting next to him. The interview sparked controversy as clergymen never spoke of ghosts. But Eric just kind of got used to the activity in the home. So today, the vicarage has been turned into a bed and breakfast, and people report spooky happenings. And dude, when I say they report spooky happenings, there are pages and pages and pages of people who've slept in that house and like written in of what happened to them. So I'm going to give you some.
Oh man. Okay.
You ready for
this?
this?
Yeah. We have to go to Sweden now.
Okay.
Would you stay at the vicarage?
I would stay with you as long as you're with me. Okay. No, sorry. I jumped ahead. So I'm going to talk about what some of these guests talked about in these houses, and I'm going to show you pictures. This is cool. And then I'm going to get to their tales. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have the yellow room. Okay. Which people speculate where Marta Hedlund passed away. Do you see the yellow room?
Yes, it's yellow. It's very sunny.
Yellow.
Very pretty.
Guests will report seeing shadows in this room and sometimes feel as if someone is pulling on their clothes.
That's your favorite.
Yeah, I love that. They also claim to see a dent on the bedspread as if someone is sitting on
there.
it. Then there's the blue room. Must be where Eric Lindgren heard his furniture moving because people who spend the night here wake up to the sounds of heavy furniture being moved around. Similar to the yellow room, guests feel their bed sheets being pulled off in the middle of the night.
No, I don't want to be in the blue room. I'd rather be in the yellow room.
Yep. Some swear it's from a little boy whose apparition can be seen here. And blue is the correct color because sometimes people feel inexplicably sad and depressed in this room.
It's a pretty room. I love that
It's
rug.
gorgeous, right?
That rug is gorgeous.
I love everything in here, but I don't want to feel depressed.
No.
And then there's the pink room.
Oh, hello, happy pink room.
Not sure why this wasn't included in the history at the beginning, so I'm not sure if this is actual info, but end of the 19th century, okay, a 19-year-old girl gets pregnant. And she gets put in this room and locked away because back then, before you're wed, right?
Yeah,
it was
you don't.
social suicide to be pregnant, right?
Yep.
And to top it all off, they think she was pregnant by a priest.
Oh,
yes.
Gosh, that sucks so much for her.
Seriously. So sadly, when the child was born, it was either stillborn or killed right after birth.
Yeah.
They buried the baby at the north side of the home, right outside the pink room.
Stop burying people at
On
the
the
house,
land,
dude.
Yep. To this day, it is reported that the mother and the baby haunt the room. Guests claim to hear the sound of screaming, a baby crying, and seeing a small shadow figure. Lastly, recently, guests have reported seeing a ridiculously tall dark man wearing a hat in the expedition room.
Nope.
Some claim to see strange images in the mirrors, and people feel multiple cold spots around the house. So you ready for the guest comments?
Yeah, we're staying in the yellow room when we go.
Okay.
Deal. That's.
I mean, what's cool, so you're going to see this. There's different rooms where people are reporting, but you can actually rent the whole home, which I would do. Yeah.
You rent the whole home?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's one of them. We heard people talking outside the house when there was no one there. The door locked being turned, and we also heard a dog barking. Felt someone blow in my ear. Also heard a man clear his throat right by the stair upstairs. Yeah, that's one.
I don't want people blowing in my ear.
I don't like that. No. These are all short, so I'm just going to run them. The door to the pink room slammed shut with a fairly hard force and plowed away the carpet. I tested the door several times, but found it unlikely that it could close by itself so tightly and push the carpet away with such force. A powerful event that etched itself on the retina.
Ooh.
From the blue room. Felt a child climbing on me and caressing my forehead as I tried to sleep. No. Felt anxiety and also saw a female figure in the pink room sitting on the bed and then getting up. Heard footsteps on the stairs all night.
Oh, no.
When we went to sleep, we heard something being dragged upstairs. At 4:04, the fire alarm in the kitchen went off. At 4:15, both the smoke alarm in the kitchen and the hall started to go off.
Dude.
In the morning.
Something is going on there.
It's crazy. In the morning, we could see that a chair had been moved, which could explain the dragging sound we heard, and that someone had been sitting in one of the beds. From the yellow room. Was in bed when I started hearing noises and knocks on the wall, then went up the stairs. First gentle, then stronger and stronger. The latter stopped outside the room. The strange thing was that I hadn't heard any room doors open or close. Again, this is all Swedish translation. I also felt cold caresses on my legs and feet that I had outside the covers.
No.
That's the yellow room. You still want to stay there?
Well, yes. Because I don't have a little kid waking me up
true.
or a woman screaming and crying.
True
and
that.
Baby.
Not the blue room.
But I just, would keep my feet in the covers. Yeah. And I do that as a general rule anyway. That's I don't want things touching my feet.
Okay. From the chamber, formerly used as a reception room by officiating priests and considered most important of all the rooms. In the morning, I lay awake and then heard breathing. Yeah, not cool. Before we left, we had made the bed and tidied up the room and were going to check one last time. At that time, we were in the house ourselves. Then the bedspread was half worn down on the floor.
Oh, no.
During the night, we heard bangs, voices, woman and child, footsteps upstairs and down the stairs. A black figure was seen at the doorway between the kitchen and living room.
No.
In the morning, when we were getting ready to go home, we heard heavy, quick steps upstairs and bangs. Dude, this place, I'm telling you, these are all separate.
Yeah.
We work for the Church of Sweden and often visit places that some of us find unpleasant. Dude.
That's funny.
Yeah. Around 4:00, my colleagues fell asleep and I went out to get a charger in the car. On my way in, I heard voices from the kitchen, but when I got in there, there was no one there and my colleagues were still sleeping.
Oh, that one's good.
Yep. What we got to experience at 5 to 6:30 was magical, unpleasant, and incredibly exciting at the same time.
Magical, unpleasant, and exciting.
Exactly.
It's all the things.
It's all the things. It was full of activity in the form of footsteps, knocking, even strange sighs, and other sounds that I will never forget. The most exciting thing was when we were sitting in the pink room just after 5 o'clock and heard someone coming down the stairs. Thought, of course, it was one of the people sleeping up there going down to the toilet. But it went past the toilet into the great hall and further into the pink room and stopped right in front of the bed where we were sitting. Then it was dead quiet for maybe 30 seconds. Then it turned around and went back the same way. On that occasion, we were horrified, but at the same time lyrical that we finally got to be part of something inexplicable. In 2002, I and some course mates from Midsommar rented the entire Prasgarden. After a late dinner, I took the dishes and put everything to dry and went out of the kitchen towards the entrance where the others were standing. Then it crashed in the kitchen. 2 meters from the sink was a piece of broken glass. Strange if it jumped there from the sink, but we said that it could have some other explanation after all. Towards night, I and 2 others were lying on the floor against the railing by the stairs, waking up to the front door rattling and the door opening and closing.
Nope.
We hear someone walking up the stairs towards us, and we stare and wait to see if we will see someone coming. Somewhere in the middle of the stairs, or almost all the way up, it stops and quick steps down the stairs and a slam on the door again. We gather courage and go downstairs knowing that I locked the door and had the key sitting in the old lock when I had previously been out smoking. Now the door was locked and the key was left and could not possibly have been tampered with by an outsider.
Dude, I don't like that.
Isn't
I don't
that
like
creepy?
that one. I would be like, I don't know. I think I would be like so fried. Everything would be heightened. Like
So much, right?
all the hairs on my body would be standing straight up. My heart would be racing.
Right?
I think I would freeze. I think
freeze.
my fight or flight is freeze. I think it'd be like, like I can't move.
Can't do anything.
No.
Have slept in
man.
Prasgarden 4 times and have heard children's screams.
Oh no.
And an old wall phone ringing for full mugs, even though it was not plugged in. I don't know what that means, but it was ringing. Sounds of someone walking up the stairs without anyone being there, knocking on walls, etc. My brother, who doesn't even believe this, says he saw a tall figure with a hat when he had an evening smoke. He felt watched, and a little way from him there was this figure, and he is absolutely sure of what he saw, so he was quite shocked. This one's a good one. We had just arrived at the house. My husband was out fixing the packing in the car. I went in. The doors downstairs were closed to the great hall. Heard 2 talking in there and pulling what I then interpreted as suitcases. Thought if they closed the door, they wanted to be left alone. Then there was silence. When my husband came in, I therefore told him that we should walk carefully so as not to disturb them in case they took a nap. We sat outside the house and enjoyed cold drinks in the sun. Then the other guests arrived in the car. No one was inside the house. Felt how the hair stood up on his body. We went in and checked, and it was completely empty.
Oh man.
Never experienced anything so clearly paranormal. Almost makes me go crazy when I think about it. Was absolutely sure there were other guests in there, but there was something else. What the heck? Isn't that creepy?
That's a good one.
Okay, but there's so many more. You
I'm
can
sure
check out the
there are.
website. It's insane. There's so much. Okay, but I'm running out of time because I'm going over. Oh, right, but you're gonna love this, I promise.
Okay, I'm ready for the other cryptid.
Goblin, troll, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. That's why I love it. Okay.
So there was this interesting blog I came across written by Deborah Hatswell where she posts about exploring strange phenomena around the world. She came across a cryptid forum where someone from Sweden posted about an ongoing situation where he sees something close to home, which he called a troll.
A troll.
Here's what he posted, and I'm going to talk about other stories, but I think it's a Bigfoot.
Okay.
This is from his own words. I've seen this creature for a number of nights now on my way home from work. The first couple of times I just saw the reflection of its eyes caught by the headlights as it was sitting by the side of the road before it skitters off away out into the woods.
What color was the eye shine? Did he say?
He didn't, not yet.
Okay.
At one time, I saw it peeking its head over the side railings along the dark mountain road I drive home on. If I am to try and describe the creature, I would say it's about 40 to 50 centimeters tall with a big round head and large green eyes reflecting in the lights from the car. It looks like a small monkey, but a monkey without a tail, and I think it has dark brown or black hair that covers its body and head. The thing is, there is no wild animal in Sweden that fits the description of this creature.
Bigfoot.
My best theory is that it is a troll or some sort of goblin. I've heard stories of goblins that live in the woods and in burrows along the creeks and rivers, but I never thought that I would see one, or at least I think it is a goblin. That is the only thing that makes sense about this creature, as much sense as it can make. It's hard sometimes to believe your own eyes when you're faced with something you never thought you'd see or something you didn't think could exist. At first, I thought it was a cat or some other small animal because the few times I saw it, I only saw its eyes shine in the light, and that was almost cat-like. So I presumed it was a cat, or any rational person would. But as I saw more and more of it, I seriously started to doubt that it was a cat or a four-legged animal. Today, I was driving home on the same road. My doubts were proven right. This time I saw it sitting on the side of the road just as I came around a bend, and I had to brake as hard as I could. When the car came to a halt, the creature was about 4 meters from my car, and I could see its eyes were staring right at me.
Oh, man.
I became paralyzed by fear, and I could feel my heart pumping. It just sat there for a minute or two, just staring at me with those big green eyes, like it was trying to figure out what to do next. Mm-hmm. Then it turned around and ran into the woods, and I lost sight of it.
Fight or flight or freeze.
There you go.
Froze for a second and then run.
And then ran. Get out of here. I sat there for a while trying to understand what I just saw, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. I don't think I will be doing much sleeping tonight. I will probably just think about this creature if I see it again. I'm not sure what I saw, but I think it might have been a troll or something like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now I think you're going to think this is more Bigfoot, because I have a tale from a lady who had a strange encounter in the Voxna region of Sweden. Okay. Yeah, this is hard. I couldn't tell if this would belong to this like 1985 tale. I don't know when this happened, but it's crazy. Okay. So Swedish blog, Strange Creatures in Europe. States a woman who wanted to remain anonymous went out to a recreational area at Voxna to clean out their family cabin for the waiting summer. After a short while inside, she suddenly heard what she described as pretty heavy feet moving around outside the isolated cabin. Yeah. She sensed that this was not your ordinary intruder and was so scared she actually hid under a bed. Ooh. I never saw the creature, but when 1 hour had passed, I got up and went outside, and then I found giant footprints in the garden and around the house. Yep. Yay. In the snow. The lady stated the footprints measured 45 centimeters in length and 30 centimeters wide. That's huge. There was plenty of them, but she had no knowledge of making plaster casts and didn't even consider that option, as a phenomena of a Swedish Bigfoot never have come up before. She knew what she was experiencing was neither human or animal, and the tracks were almost human in shape, but quite large. It was on hearing about the next report in the region that she made the report. As a couple of weeks later, two teenage girls in the same area of Voxna were skinny dipping in a nearby pond when they suddenly heard someone or something moving around in the thick undergrowth on the shoreline, teasing and calling the intruder a pervert, which they presumed they caught like spying on new girls bathing, right? Yeah. Being in a pair and not scared of the pervert, the two girls moved closer and closer towards the shore, planning to surprise and even catch the culprit red-handed. Instead, something out of a nightmare suddenly rose up in front of them. Tina, 15, stated, "How can I describe this thing well? It resembles an ape, but it was far more uglier and very, very large."
Oh, it's a Bigfoot.
Exactly. Her friend Petra, 16, agreed and says that at the same time, a terrible stench came from the creature.
Yes.
Which growled at them and began pounding its chest. Tina and Petra were so shocked they ran back into the water and swam ashore a bit further down to avoid any further contact with the ugly ape-like creature.
Yep.
Then both girls ran through the woods without their clothes on and didn't stop until they were home a couple of kilometers away. Yeah.
Naked run.
Naked run. Woo! Petra's father didn't believe their story about the creature, but admitted that something had given the girls a pretty bad scare. I thought it must have been a bear, he said. There are bears in the area, and if this one had a cub on the side, it could have seen the girls as a potential threat. The girls themselves, badly whipped by lashing branches during their hysterical run through the woods, was adamant they did not see a bear, but something far more frightening. It was like a monster out of a movie, and it walked upright on two legs the whole time.
It's a Bigfoot,
Tina said.
It's a Bigfoot.
Even if it was ugly, it more resembles a man than an animal.
Ah, it's Bigfoot.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. So when you were talking about them running through, I started to giggle. I don't know if the mic picked it up, but let me tell you what was going on in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you get this reference.
Okay.
We're going streaking.
Is that Will Ferrell?
Yes.
But see, he would be the it.
Yeah. He would be the
Because he's big and hairy. I love that. Oh, man. So the area where these possible Swedish Bigfoots have been seen is extremely inaccessible according to locals, even dangerous except for the part where the cabins are located, with many small lakes and swamps. It's located just south of Bollnäs, and cutting right through it is famous Helsing Trail, a walking path over both lower and higher ground surrounded by low mountains. So there you go. It's a Bigfoot.
It's a Bigfoot.
Yeah?
It's a Bigfoot.
Maybe he saw a baby Bigfoot.
Maybe
Goblin.
Because it wasn't as
small.
It wasn't as
really
big.
small.
Yeah, he may have seen a small one.
Maybe, or it's maybe a goblin. But there you go. There could be goblins and Bigfoots. So
it's a Bigfoot. Yay, Sweden.
Sweden
You guys
has
have Bigfoots.
everything. Yeah.
Big feets.
Big feet.
Big
Ghosts and big feet. And
Yay.
lake monsters.
Lake
so.
monsters. Okay, this was fun. I liked
told
it.
you you'd
Yeah.
like it, right?
It's way different than what I thought it was going to be after watching the movie.
I told you I was not going to do anything similar to what the movie, because this movie is bonkers.
Man. Yeah. So before we get into the movie,
before we do that,
if you guys have been to Sweden or you have any stories that you want to share, we want to hear them.
Woo!
Please email us at theominousstitch@gmail.com. You can also jump over to any of our social medias and just say hi, drop a line. We will answer you back because we love to talk to our stitchers and we love to get to know you. If you want show notes from today's episode or any previous episodes, you can go over to podbean.com. That is where we host our wonderful little podcast for you guys. And you can pick up any show notes from anything that you want to review, or there's a little button in the upper right-hand corner. You guys know the drill. You can click on it and become a patron today. We do this because we love our stitchers and we love building a community, but you guys really do make it possible for us to continue to do this for you guys. So if you want to become a stitcher, please do so. We would love for you guys to, well, you guys already are stitchers. I saw Nicole lean in. She's like, wait a minute.
patron.
You mistook. If you want to become a patron, we would love your support that way. We will send you presents. We will give you shout outs and you get patron exclusive episodes. So if you want more of Nicole and I, you got it. You can get it. All right. Now we are ready for movie time. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. It's time for some midsummer craziness. It's movie time.
Movie time. This week's movie review, Midsommar. Released in 2019, IMDb rating of 7.1 stars and synopsis. A couple travels to Northern Europe to visit a rural hometown's fabled Swedish Midsummer festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Director Ari Aster, do you know what he also directs?
No, what?
Hereditary. That's why you think this is mind trip and a half.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Right?
Pays attention to all the tiny little details.
So good.
That keep that mood going. That was like one of my favorite things about this movie is that when they're high, you see it. And when it wears off, you see it.
Yep.
And that's the coolest. I think that's the coolest part about this movie.
He's so cool. I
you
love
just
this
you
movie.
see it the way that he makes everything move.
It's gorgeous, right? He again details.
The town or the little village is so pretty,
gorgeous. But then like colors and things because at the
way
beginning,
the colors work.
Yeah, the mood set because you see it's dark in Danny's room.
Yeah,
she's dealing with her sister and like she's freaking out. It's like dark.
Everything's dark.
Everything's dark. Even when they're in the bar, like it's a little darker. They're at the party, it's darker. Like in New York, right? It's like I feel like it's all about her.
It is about her.
Yes,
the whole movie is about her.
But the mood of the lighting, everything is so detailed. And then they go to Sweden.
Yeah,
and it's and there's no darkness. Remember, like even at
no
night,
darkness. Yeah, because middle of the night because it's midsummer.
Yes,
the sun doesn't really set. It gets dark for a couple hours, but then that's not even dark. It's just
not even dark.
A little darker.
Yeah, you can see still. And I think that's so cool. All these little details in this movie. It's so spooky on a different level. It's not ghosts, right? It's horror to like a different degree.
Yeah. It's
that cult.
Like, yeah.
And it's just so crazy how he makes them portray like, oh, they're all happy. Oh, they went to town. Oh, take this tea. Like they're so like creepy on the surface of happy, right? And then it's like
I have so many thoughts and feelings.
First I know, right?
It's a long movie.
It is a long movie.
But it is beautiful to watch. I think this is the first Florence Pugh movie I've seen.
Okay. Have you seen Black Widow?
No.
Oh, I love her in Black Widow.
Yeah.
She's good in Black Widow. Have you seen, she's also in a wrestling movie, like one of her first movies. She's in a wrestling movie and it's so funny. Like she portrays a real life
wrestling family.
Yes.
Oh, I did see that.
You saw that, right?
I think so.
Let me find it. I mean,
they're like, she's Irish or something.
Hair.
Yeah. Black hair. Oh,
that's Florence Pugh, right? I love Florence Pugh.
Well, then I have seen her before, but yeah, she's fantastic.
What else?
She's amazing.
Well, I never seen Oppenheimer. She's in that.
Yeah, I haven't seen Oppenheimer.
Don't Worry, Darling, which is another
I never saw that
movie.
one.
Okay.
I know all the stuff that went
gosh,
on with that one,
but
I haven't seen
Little
it.
Women? I never watched that actually.
Which Little Women?
The newer one, 2019, Little Women.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Okay. Fighting with My Family.
Yes, I saw that. Fighting with My Family. I didn't realize that was her. That's cool.
Okay. She's also in another horror movie that we'll probably watch at some point called Malevolent. But anyway, I love her.
She's in a lot of things.
Yes.
She's cool. I've seen a lot of interviews with her and I've always I'm like, she's cool. I can't wait to see a movie.
Favorite. Watch Black Widow this weekend or something.
Watch it.
Because she's my favorite in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I know ScarJo's, but I love Florence Pugh in that movie.
Okay. I'll have to watch it. Okay.
Okay. But go ahead. Sorry.
So I have so many thoughts and feelings. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel for her. And I know that's the idea is that you feel for her.
Right.
But like, dude, dealing with her family. And yes, her boyfriend is a piece of work. Most of it is his friends, but like his ability to be influenced by his horrible friends
her the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, she's just his sister. Your sister does this all the time. Like he totally like so mad at that.
Yeah. No, you don't treat your girlfriend like that,
right?
Especially your girlfriend of multiple years, like
seriously
3 years, and
almost 4.
She needs family. She needs somebody that she can lean on. And the whole thing with her going, am I leaning on him too much? I'm pushing him away. No. And whoever her friend was that she was talking to, and like, if you're feeling that way towards him, then that's a red flag.
She needed to listen to her.
Yeah, she needed to listen to her friend. But I feel so much for Danny because she lost everything because her sister was sick.
Yes.
And her sister made decisions for her and her parents that caused Danny to lose her family. I'll just put it that way.
Nice.
If you haven't seen it.
Oh, good point.
It's very like...
It's
the one thing that this movie does is it doesn't hide anything. No. You see everything. It shows.
We're talking about everything.
Everything.
There's some nudity.
Oh yeah.
And everything.
Everything. Yes, everything.
But
It's all.
I feel like maybe he could have taken it out, but it just contributes so much insanity to this movie.
Well, yeah, it makes everything like very real and authentic.
Yes.
And it makes you feel like you're there with them.
Makes it feel like this is actually happening.
Yeah. I mean, you're experiencing the insanity, and he's inviting you to process with them what they're experiencing. So you get to, I mean, they're on drugs. So that's the one thing I guess you can be too if you want to when you watch this movie.
You can take some mushroom tea.
But like, the way that everything is out there in the open. He doesn't hide anything from you. So you have to process it along with the characters in the film. And it's like, how does your brain process what's happening in front of you? How are you going to feel and respond and be affected by it? And everything is so very shocking and so very different. And the reaction of the people when it's happening is so off from what you think it would be. Some people react the way you expect them to.
Right.
But the majority of the people don't.
No. Like the first whole, like when it first starts to turn.
Yeah.
I don't want to give everything away because you got to see this movie. It's on Max. There's a really shocking scene that you just don't expect. It comes out of the blue. I've seen this movie before. Still shocked me. I was like,
Which scene? Just
they're
give
up
me
the cliff.
The cliff scene. Okay.
That's where it kind of turns.
Yeah, that's the big turn.
Yeah.
That's where they start to realize, oh, this festival is about something else.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, holy crap. And you see everything.
You
just
see
like Angela.
everything.
It's graphic.
They don't cut away. You
No.
expect them to cut away,
No,
and they
don't.
don't cut away.
And you're like, you feel it. And it's insane. It's intense. It's very intense. That's a good word for it.
Yeah, it's intense. And it's really interesting the way that he showed how she was, because everything's about her, the way that she experienced it. She went numb. Everything just went numb.
Yeah.
And she was like,
She didn't know how to act.
Yeah. And, okay. I have.
This was a bonkers movie, guys.
It's a bonkers movie. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's it makes you question a lot of things. It makes you process a lot of things and come up and deal with how you feel and how you experience things, just like Hereditary does.
Yes.
And
family. It's a big,
yeah,
big
it's
part
about
of it.
family.
Doesn't it feel like these were actual, not actors at all?
Yeah. They didn't.
I would be
feel
so
like,
convinced that this was actually real. Like,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very ancient pagan rituals that they're doing. And it's not just like a fun summer festival. Like at first I was like, oh, it's like, 'cause we used to work at Cal Lutheran, which has a big Scandinavia festival.
Exactly.
Right?
Which I love.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
That's
a lot
what
of
you thought it was.
a lot of it is a lot of the traditions, like at the very beginning, felt very like that at Cal Lutheran.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Scandinavian festival is so much fun.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, it's like this at the beginning of it. But
on mushrooms?
Yes. Well, on mushrooms. Well, no, not necessarily the mushrooms, but like, the maypole and, they have some things that you feel are traditional, but then you get way into their culture and how they live, and everything is very graphic and out in the open. And it really makes you think of how like really old, like the Brother Grimm's fairy tales. And like, if you go back to the original before they got sugar coated,
this is it.
Like it's graphic and it's gory and it's very detailed, and everything is very graphic and gory and detailed, but they do it with such like a pleasantness.
Yes. That it's everything's natural, and they're doing it for a reason.
And they explain everything, and everything has an order and a reason.
But
and this
dude,
is the
it's
way it's
murder.
been for centuries. But like,
it's murder.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, fun fact.
Yeah.
I wanted, for a few years now, I want to be a Mayflower queen for Halloween.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Can you imagine how freaking heavy that
my gosh
outfit was?
Yes.
I think I saw her like talk about it once. And
Oh, really?
It was just like
so many
She
flowers.
can't move. You can't move in
Your
that.
head's stiff and you've got this big flower cape on. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. She had to walk in it. I'm like, did she have people underneath her like pushing her? Because my gosh,
That's better than the bear.
it's got to be like 300 pounds. Oh my gosh.
No spoilers. I'm not gonna give away. Anyway, this movie, it really gets you, and you think about it a lot. And this is why I made her watch it, because I was like, this is a good different type of horror movie. And I couldn't. It wasn't. You couldn't watch it for a while. You had to rent it. So now being on Max, I was like, yes, no, we have
We
it
can watch
before.
it.
And I wanted to save it for Midsummer, but I was like, what happens if it goes away?
Yeah. So
it's
let's
like-
do it now.
Yes. Sorry, I jumped the gun on it.
That's okay. That's okay.
So how many stitches would you give it?
I don't know. I'm still processing everything that I saw.
It's crazy, right?
It's
I think you have to watch it again too.
No.
Yes. Because watching it again like made me like actually observe more. I feel like I saw more the second time than I did the first time, honestly. Because there's just so much to process.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to process. There's a lot where you're watching it and you're like, oh, this is pretty. And then you look a layer deeper and you're like, oh, this is
Not
kind of what's happening here.
Uh-huh.
And then you're like, oh, this is what?
It's
No,
sinister.
this is not good. And then you look deeper and you're like, I don't know what I feel about this. And then you're back to everything being pretty again.
And it's crazy because it's like, again, it's so ominous and sinister, but it's not at the same time to them.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're Kool-Aid brainwashed. Like it's a part of their history. Like,
So I'm sure at some point when they're being indoctrinated into it, if they weren't born into this village is what they call it, but it's a cult.
a cult.
It's, if they weren't born into this and then they were brought into it, I'm sure they have moments of being shocked. And I'm sure while they're growing up in it, they have a lot of moments of being shocked. But everything is so normalized.
So normal. And they're smiling the whole time.
Everything's so normalized that they're like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is part of the life cycle. And they explain everything away.
Life.
And-
Life. This is natural. Everything's natural.
So
I don't know about murder, but
yeah.
it's insane. Anyway, you don't know how many stitches he is. This is the unknown Stitch movie.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because sometimes I'm like, it was too much. And so I want to give it a lower stitch rating. But I'm like, that's the point of it, is that it is so much and you have to really process it. But I'm like, I don't know if I can watch it again because I don't know if I can process it again.
Hereditary. It's
Right?
exactly
It's the same kind of thing.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, it's so much.
So much.
But it's beautiful and it's a lot and it's doing exactly what it should do. So I have to give it a high stitch. So we'll say it's an 8.
Yay. She's like doubting herself on this. She's like,
I'm not because like I know it's got to be a high stitch. It's
a
incredible
great movie, right?
Huh.
But you feel dirty about it.
Well, no, it's not that I feel dirty about it. It's just like I don't think I can watch it again because it's a lot.
A lot to take in.
Yeah,
I have IMDb up, and it's like
I'm watching
it keeps looping the images of the movie.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Yeah, I have to give it like an 8.5 at least. Like,
yeah.
it's Ari Aster, man. I hope he makes more movies. He's known again for Hereditary. In this movie, he is known for a couple ones that I haven't seen yet, which are Beau is Afraid, which came out in 2023 with Joaquin Phoenix. That one doesn't look like a horror. It's just more of a mind trip, I think.
Yeah.
Dream Scenario, which I heard about, but I don't know much about it. But then, yeah, I kind of hope he comes out with so many more because this is so good. And then this is a part of, I think, the A24 productions, which are really good and creepy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's a thinker, man.
Yeah.
You got to sit with it. There are some movies that are just like incredibly heavy and weighted that you have to sit with. I went to, oh gosh, I don't even remember what the movie was now, but it was, I was in high school. So it was like 93, I think maybe 93.
Okay.
this was one of the times I went on a date and I didn't realize I was on a date because I was dumb and was just like, oh, I'm just going to a movie with a guy. Woo, cool. But it was a date and I didn't know.
You're naive like I was.
Right.
Yep.
And so, but anyway, so I went on a date with this guy and we went to see a big, heavy movie in 93. It was a 3-hour movie and I can't remember what it was right now because my brain is still stuck on Midsommar right now. But the guy that I went with was sweet and wonderful and super chatty. And we had great conversations and it was all wonderful. We saw the movie. We left the movie. Neither of us could talk because we were like processing everything that we had just seen.
Oh, no.
And it was just like, okay, bye.
It's too much.
It's just like, That's what I feel like. Yeah, my head hurts.
In a good way. I love this movie.
I know you do.
Ari Aster, good job, man.
Good job.
Good job, Florence Pugh.
Way to make my head hurt.
and last thing, I stitched to this sometimes, but because of all those details, like I couldn't.
Yeah, you gotta watch the details, like because the way that her flowers breathe,
right?
Yeah,
the grass grows into
her body. She
like,
becomes one with nature.
So cool, like how that like the
visuals in this are really neat.
Yes, they captured Drug Trip like to a T. Like the trees are like talking and move like holy crap. So. But it's so detailed to a T that like I couldn't crochet most of the time. I just like
you have to watch because there are parts that you want to look away, but you have to watch.
You need, and that's why I said I had to, the second time. I think maybe the first time I was crocheting or something. I don't even remember. It was 2019. No, I probably wasn't. Anyway. The second time I was just like, I want to watch all of this because I need to capture everything. And it's just so good. It's so good. So if you haven't seen this, watch it.
Yeah. Nicole highly recommends it. Yes. I'm still at the stage where I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of a movie to watch.
It is.
So you got to be prepared because it's a lot to watch.
It is.
Don't watch it with kids.
Have you watched it, Stitchers?
Yeah. Have you watched us? Let us know. We want to hear about it. She's queuing me up right now, guys. The look on her face is awesome.
I'm sorry. I just know this is a long episode. Thanks for sticking it out with us.
Thank you for sticking it out. Let us know what you thought about Midsommar. Let us know about what you think about Sweden. Let us know what you think about Eurovision.
I like that.
Okay. Good. Okay. We're going to end it now. So until next time, we'll see you, Stitchers.
See you, Stitchers.